There are Nigerians who can go anywhere in the world that they want to go. But they choose to stay in this country. They have the option of having a second passport, but they choose to not have it. If they want to apply for American passport, they can, and they will get it by merit, not by buying it. But they choose to not carry a second passport. They choose to not live anywhere else. They make a decision that this is their home, not just their fatherland, but their motherland as well. So that choice is what drives someone like me and a number of other Nigerians that supports this kind of projects and insists that no matter what anyone does, we will not stop talking. We will not stop speaking out about the things that we consider as wrong in our nation. I heard somebody talk about violence and this and that, and I know that there are pastors that will preach on the pulpit when you're praying and you're asking for God's help, and they will tell you the kingdom of God suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. And there are politicians who will tell you today that it's not by force, and they will tell you as well that it's not a do or die. And by all means, politics or democracy is not a do or die, if you really want to be honest. But the fact remains that that force that is being mentioned is not by carrying dagger, machete, and guns and AK-47. The force that is required for you to take your country to the level that you desire to take it to, that force is for you to wake up every day and say, this country cannot remain like this. I will use every power, every ounce of energy in my body to push this country to the level that I desire. It is by force, in a manner of speaking. When you have less than 20% of the voters in a state like Lagos, in Nigeria, some people describe it, is it the fourth or the fifth largest economy on the continent of Africa? And then we're talking of voter apathy, not voter apathy in that sense, but one, where the percentage of people that voted, my reporters went out and they're talking about some polling units where there's only one person that came out to vote. And they had a list of over 150 people on the polling, on the sheets. One person, in some cases 3, in some cases 5. And there are reports where they said some of the officials, when they discovered that it's almost time and only 3 people showed up, they're thumbprinting. These are allegations, not proven. We don't have the records. I already got a gentleman who sent me some video indicating that in my polling units, according to him, there were officials that were thumbprinting. We have not verified, so we don't know. And we don't carry fake news at News Central. What we do is verify, validate, and then we can say, yes, authoritatively, this is what we have. So here is the issue for us. We are keen to see our democracy grow. We continue to say that we are the fourth estate of the realm, and we will do our job and our duty. Loyalty, according to some people, is a duty. If you're asking for loyalty to Nigeria, you're asking for everyone to be duty-bound, to say this nation, as long as I have breath, I will commit to Nigeria. And you have that responsibility to do it, and to do it consistently, not for 3 days or 3 months and say I am tired. Or that as the young people will say, my tired is tired. Don't say your tired is tired. Your tired cannot be tired. Because I have a spirit of endurance. I do marathon. And the development of this nation is not a sprint. It's not 100 meters. It's an endurance race. It's a marathon that we all have to commit to. I had a conversation with Professor Akintemi over the course of the weekend, and we're talking about the fact that 45 years back, Professor Wole Soyinka said that his generation is wasted. The man is 90 years old now. He said that over 40 years ago. The likes of Professor Akintemi and co are 70 years old now. Their generation is more than wasted. I am 60 years old. Is this generation not wasted? We have young people in this room. What's the hope that their generation will not be wasted again? Is this nation going to continue like this and say what we want to do is to continue to waste generations upon generations, develop talents and encourage them to go abroad like Joseph, that don't desire to come back and build our own Israel in Africa and be the true giant of the continent, not just by numbers, by virtue of the achievement and the things that we do. I'm extremely passionate about this assignment because this is an assignment for every single one of us. Sometimes it becomes tiring when you sound and feel like the lone voice in the wilderness. But New Central cannot be the lone voice in the wilderness, because we need every single one of you to commit to one thing, that every one of you will not allow yourselves to rest. As I wrap up, I must call out Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission. We had a chairman's round table not too long ago. Before this election, we invited LASIEC. We wrote letters, we made phone calls. Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission and my producers in the office, I want to see the picture of the chairman, the PRO, the logo of LASIEC, to call them out. The Lagos State government is invested money, not spend, invested money, running to billions of naira. That is not the money of the state governor or state government. This is taxpayers' money, our money. We pay tax in this state. And given to LASIEC, and they have opted to ignore the first conversation, and they are opting to not show up at this conversation. In the course of saying that, I'll digress quickly and say thank you very much, Benjamin, and thank you to Mr. Jimo. So we should say thank you to the police for showing up here. Very much in SCDC for coming to give your own side of the story. Those who show up, we should commend them and give them a round of applause. But when we have LASIEC that takes people's money, the sweat and blood of those who continue to answer the call of government and saying, I did pay my tax. That tax, like some people will say, Owo Eniru, Owo Alata, the one that comes from the woman that sells pap and sells pepper, they collect their money as tax. No matter how little, it's their sweat and their blood. Then LASIEC collects it, runs an election that some people have described as shambolic, that is a charade. Whether they are right or wrong, LASIEC has a duty to show up and present their side of the story. Because it is not our job to tell a single story. And we don't carry fake news. They have a duty, and I will continue to insist that news centralization, we will keep extending invitation on a regular basis to LASIEC. They must come and present their case to the people of Lagos. They owe them a duty and responsibility. Whether you want to call it the Lagosians or residents of Lagos, the good people of Lagos that pay their tax, irrespective of what part of the nation they come from, as they're resident here and they pay tax, LASIEC owe them a duty to explain how the money was spent, what they did, where they got it wrong, which is okay, which is human, because to err is human, and how they're going to correct those wrongs in the next set of elections. The second set of people I would mention as I wrap up, we extended invitation to 19 political parties registered by INEC in Nigeria. Every single one of them got a letter and an acknowledgement indicating that they know that this event is taking place. I think about 5 or 6 of them have chosen to not attend. Top on the agenda list, because 5 or 6 of them didn't show up. Those 5 were informed, they actually acknowledged and indicated, yeah, they're interested, and gave the impression that they're coming. But in the midst of that, there was one that stood out, and I said, I am not a politician. I don't belong to any political party. In my entire life, if I've had any affiliation in any political party, probably when I was a young man and I wanted to join Tuji Braithwaite, when in 79, when I was young and I said I was going to join Tuji Braithwaite, we have to make this nation better. I did not register, but I supported whatever he said he wanted to do, because as a young man at that time, it looked like a great and brilliant idea. But since that time, I've never registered, I've never shown interest in any political party, because I've been, in the last 40 years, I've been a journalist that said I will not be aligned to political party. The only alliance I have is to the Nigerian state, the Nigerian people, and we owe them a duty to not just report, but to continue to push that platform that we built, a platform that makes it possible for the voice of the people to be heard. If the president is still the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, hear me and hear me now. If the governor of Lagos State is still the governor of Lagos, hear me and hear me now. If you are anything or anyone in this very country, please be very clear. News Central as a TV station will not carry fake news, will not share wrong information, will not malign anybody, will not be unfair to anyone, will not be unjust. But, please be clear, we will not stop using this as a platform for the people. We have done 12 town hall meetings in different parts of the country, and we're not stopping. Nigerians must have a voice. Nigerians must have a platform where they know for sure that their voices will be heard and their voices will never be ignored. I am not an activist. I'm just a Nigerian that is passionate about this country. And in my lifetime, I don't know how many more years God has written down, whether it is 70 or more. But in my lifetime, I want to see a Nigeria that every single one of us that carry that green passport will be proud of. So, ladies and gentlemen, the IC has said nobody should start promoting any political party until they make an announcement that you can start the electioneering campaign for 2027. There are people who are already wearing names and carrying banners and posting stuff about some political parties indicating that they have started election anyway. And that's illegal. We will follow the law when the time is right. We know the 2026, that will be pushed. The boundary will be pushed. The preparation will be done. 2027, like one of my friends will say, I have no dog in the fight. I will not have any dog in the fight. The only interest will be for every single one of you, like the gentleman from, you said you're from APC, right? Like you said, every single one of you political parties, you have a duty and responsibility after today. Go back to your different constituencies. Speak to your people in your different communities and get them to understand what is your agenda, what you want to put to the table, what you bring to the table and what you want to do for them, so that the next election will be a lot more competitive, and you can be sure we'll give you a level playing ground when it comes to giving your voice the amplification that it requires to get the message out. If everyone will do that, it will become more competitive. You can't have a situation where you're a candidate and even in your own polling unit you can't command 5 voters. You can't do that. So you need to make sure that you go out and do it, and you can be sure you have an alliance in us in terms of using our platform to support every political party. That's our duty. It's our responsibility, and we will be held to that as ethical requirements. I will say thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. New Central is everybody's platform. Every single one of you have a duty, and you have the right to come to us. We will help to amplify your voice. We will give you the support as long as it is in the interest of the good people of Nigeria and of the nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think at this point, we all need to also have a round of applause for ourselves.
For ourselves. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.